At long last, the Tate brothers might finally face justice. The brothers, still traveling the world despite pending charges in Romania, were recently in Florida. Federal agents swooped in and grabbed them both. Not to face charges in the States, but to be extradited to the United Kingdom, where they have been charged with a slew of detestable crimes. The initial crimes in the UK were announced in 2024. However, a few days ago, the Crown Prosecution Service announced further charges, with new victims, according to the official press release. Specifically, Andy is facing 7 counts of rape, 3 counts of sex trafficking, 3 counts of assault, and 19 more concerning indecent images of a child and extreme pornography. Tristan is facing 1 count of sexual assault, 2 counts of rape, and 3 counts of sex trafficking. Altogether, this brings the charges to a total of 59. The brothers are fighting the extradition, which is odd considering that both have asserted their fearlessness, along with the obligatory claim of innocence. Tristan even said he'd go knock on the door of the Bedfordshire PD, while Andy invited the UK to come pick him up in Beverly Hills. But now Tristan will have to kick the door, since his hands will be cuffed behind his back. So what's their reason for trying to stop the proceedings? Apparently, they don't think they should face charges for crimes they didn't commit. Or, as their lawyer Joseph McBride said in his press conference, doing his best mafioso impersonation, they never did nothing wrong. Never. Despite all the investigatory exposure, the Tates still have their defenders, notably Nick Fuentes, who repeated the lame political witch hunt line. Also rushing to the Tates' defense is Arizona's own Abe Hamada, who said the charges are unclear and political. Countless bots have echoed some variation of these defenses. It's almost to their benefit that the UK has dropped the ball as it pertains to the epidemic of the Pakistani rape gangs, with hundreds of thousands of victims who will never see their abusers thrown behind bars. Now, the Tates can toss on that broken record. What about these rape gangs? Then they can accuse everyone else of turning a blind eye. Where were you when this was happening? Completing the lyrics with the same people who said such and such. It's an easy trick to play in the age of the internet, where everything in the world appears to be happening all at once, with netizens assumed to have made a comment on every last issue and event. In fact, plenty of us acknowledge the scourge of Muslim rapists while also seeing no gap between the brothers' own words and their alleged crimes. While red pill influencers, clout chasers, and lonely incels were trying to exculpate the Tates, others were exposing them for the scumbags they are. Collectively, they called themselves Team Matrix, which reported on the case, made videos, and provided regular updates. I consider myself as part of Team Matrix, with several of my Twitter posts widely reshared. I also wrote a lengthy piece about the Tates in March of 2023. These efforts appear to have paid off, with several reports from the past couple years showing that their support and influence have dropped dramatically. It's a good sign that the youth can be brought to their senses simply by showing a few of the Tates' mini clips. Yes, kids, they used to be so proud of pimping and abusing women. Not shockingly, young men do have women in their lives that they care for. Anyway, the Tates know their toast. All that globetrotting, expensive clothing, and lavish parties only served as a brief distraction from the walls closing in. Even when flying high in a private jet, the brothers could still see a cell way down below. Now imagine the headline. Popular manosphere influencers beg Trump administration to set them free. Indeed, McBride and company keep analogizing their situation with that of the president's, insisting this is just another political persecution. Andy has previously touted his very close ties with the Trump family. They helped get him elected too, wouldn't you know? And all for nothing. According to the latest report from Axios, neither Trump nor Secretary of State Rubio, who has the final say, are interested in intervening. One source quoted Rubio as calling them scum. Since 2020, the U.S. has sent 20 people back to the UK to face justice. Thus, the Tates' extradition is almost certain to take place. There's one disappointment. Since the Tates have appealed the extradition process, it could take a while before they're sent over. If I were the Tates' lawyers, I would expect them to eventually be sent to the UK to face those charges. In court, I would argue that the Tates suffer from sexual performance issues, and those stemming from psychological trauma. After all, keep in mind that all the testimony against them revolves around strangulation followed by penetration, i.e. rape. Numerous women have claimed this about the Tates. It's obvious to me that the Tates can't get it up unless they're inflicting pain against their female partners. I'm no psychologist, but that seems like a deep rooted issue, which can only have its origins in childhood abuse or abandonment. While the argument is unlikely to win them an acquittal, the judge could consider it when it comes time for sentencing.